All right, let's get right into it. Think about this for a second. There is a company that makes a profit from pretty much every single Indian wedding, and they don't even need to be on the guest list. So, how do they do it? Well, it's actually pretty simple. They sell the one thing you absolutely need to get in. No, seriously, you're going to want to stick around for this one. So, to really get this, you have to understand the concepts of the golden ticket. Now, in the world of an Indian wedding, that ticket is gold jewelry. And listen, it's not some optional accessory. It is a mandatory, non-negotiable part of the whole event. And you guessed it, one company has a near total grip on selling these tickets. Here's a way to picture it. Imagine there's this massive, incredible party, and you have to buy a ticket to get inside. Now, Titan isn't the one throwing the party. No, they just happen to own the only trusted ticket booth in town. They get paid before the music even starts. So this brings up a really interesting question. When I say the company name Titan, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Go on, take a second. I'm willing to bet you're thinking of watches, right? Well, let's pull back the curtain on who Titan really is, because the answer is probably not what you're expecting at all. And there it is, the myth that Titan is a watch company, but the reality? Oh, the reality is that Titan is a massive, sprawling jewelry empire. The watches are basically just a sideshow. The main event, the real moneymaker, that's gold. And these names right here, these are the real powerhouses inside the company. Tanishq, Mia, Carrot Lane, these are the engines that are driving this entire operation, and they just completely dominate the jewelry market in India. And let's talk about scale for a moment. We are talking about 50,000 crore rupees in revenue every single year, and that's coming from over 1,000 jewelry stores, with each one acting like its own little factory for making money. The sheer size of this is just mind-boggling. So how on earth did they pull this off? Well, they built something we can call a trust monopoly. You see, in a market where people are genuinely terrified of getting cheated, buying fake or impure gold, they all run to the one name they feel they can trust. That trust is actually more powerful than any law. It's the bedrock of their entire business. But this whole trust monopoly thing, it isn't just some abstract idea. It is a repeatable, scalable, honest-to-goodness machine. It is the playbook for how you build an empire on two simple things, trust and gold. And Titan has absolutely perfected it. And the playbook itself is just brilliantly simple. First, you open a new store, which they actually call a mini gold factory. Then, you don't just sell boring, plain gold. No, you sell art jewelry, these really intricate, beautiful designs that justify a higher price. And that allows you to charge premium making charges, which people happily pay, all because of that unwavering trust. Just look at this. Now, making charges are basically the fees for the craftsmanship, for turning the raw gold into a piece of jewelry. Titan, through a brand like Tanishq, charges about 50% more than your average local jeweler. And people pay it. They pay it without a second thought because that trust in the brand name is worth the extra cost to them.
Okay, so you might be wondering, what about all those other brands? The watches, the eyewear, all that stuff. Well, let's talk about what are essentially their bonus pocket money businesses. I mean, these other brands still pull in a massive 5,400 crore rupees a year, but you have to see it from their perspective. That huge number is just a little bonus on top of the gigantic salary they get from jewelry. It's almost like an afterthought. So brands like Titan Watches, Fast Track, and Titan Eye Plus, they serve a totally different purpose. Yeah, they make money, sure, but more importantly, they are everywhere. They dominate the real estate in malls, and they keep the Titan name constantly in front of you, even when you're not shopping for a wedding. All right, let's tie this all together now. What makes this business model so incredibly powerful, so nearly unbeatable? Well, it's fueled by something that shows absolutely zero signs of ever stopping. 1 crore. That's 10 million. 10 million weddings happening in India every single year. And every single one of them is a potential customer who needs a golden ticket. Think about that. Titan doesn't have to go out and find its customers. They're literally created by the culture itself, year after year. I mean, from an investor's point of view, this is basically a dream scenario. You have a guaranteed stream of customers every year. You're selling what is often the single biggest expense for the entire event. And as the country gets wealthier, well, the golden tickets just get bigger and more expensive. It's a growth cycle that's built right into the social fabric.
And Real Titan isn't just a shop, it's a wealth collection system built on Indian tradition.
And that leaves us with this one final, really fascinating question to chew on. Since the fundamental driver of this whole business is the institution of marriage itself, is there anything that can actually stop this machine from printing money?